1878 Casuals. It's your man Sinatra. I'm back. I got the maddest of faces. I got English, and I got LA's top one, Mikey the Mooch. So we're going to be talking a little Everton. We're going to be talking a little Charlton on Tuesday. So first off, boys, Everton 3-1 win. What are we thinking?
Go ahead, Mike.
We got to win the ones where we don't play good, right? That's it. We didn't really play that great. Everton don't have much to offer. They're kind of in a free fall right now. Frank's got them in a shambles. They're all over the place at the back four. So our players. In the end, it was the final ball that was the difference between the score line. So Rashford had really a couple nice plays out there on the left, dribbling past defenders for the one for the own goal and then for the assist. Really good to see Anthony get on the score sheet, right? Hadn't banged one in for a while. He loves to go against Everton. Scored against them in the league, so that was good to see. You had even Casemiro and Eriksen, going for goal. So in the end, yeah, we're moving on, fourth round. It's our cup, and we're coming to get it.
I like it. I believe Jason English. I believe he predicted an FA Cup win in our very first video. I believe that was his prediction.
Runners up, FA Cup and Europa.
Yeah, the quadruple is still on, boys.
Yeah.
It's like you were saying, it's good to see Rashford playing direct. He's in the form of his life. 5 goals on the bounce. That's the first time he's done it in his career. It's the first time a United player's done it since like Wayne Rooney. So epic form that he's in right now. Do you play him against Charlton or Carl, whoever the hell we're playing, or do you rest him for the derby next Saturday?
Well, I mean, look, today, I mean, like I said, you got to win the games. You don't play well. We were not dazzling, were we? But I mean, you take the highlights of what we did. I mean, there was a couple of scorchers. I mean, Pickford, he pulled off a couple of good saves. I mean that one from Bruno. The look at his face afterwards. I mean, he looked at his defender like, whoa. I mean, those. I love to see that. I mean, if it had been 2-1, as long as we win, but to see them shooting from outside the box, as you hear, it used to me screaming, no one's shooting. That's great. That's confidence. That's a team that wants to play football, wants to start taking shots from outside the box. We just misfiring. I mean, Anthony, yeah, nice to see him get that goal in the first 3 minutes, but he seems to be off his game a little bit, unfortunately. Martial, at least he didn't pick up a knock the other day, which I thought, oh, here we go, he's out for 2 months. But De Gea, what can you say? He's human. I mean, if it wasn't for him, where would we be anyway? So, you got to give him a pass, haven't you, really, for that? I just don't get the whole bringing Maguire on again. I really don't. But always nice to see Frank Lampard get beaten in it. He's going to get sacked again. Not quite as much hatred towards the Scouser Blues, but almost. So that was nice. Rest him against Charlton. No, I like the way Ten Hag is playing his strongest team. Keep the boys going. Confidence level is up. And marching onwards. And Arsenal, yeah, fuck you. We're coming for the cup. It's ours.
I like it. So to another point about that, the howler that De Gea missed, we can't fault him too much for that, but it's kind of a weird moment, right? We were talking about it, me and Face were talking about it off camera for a moment. It was almost like he was holding on to the post. It was almost like he thought for sure Malacia or whoever was going to block it or it was going to go into the side netting, and all of a sudden it's through his legs. But
Malacia didn't have a good game, did he?
Yeah.
I thought he was okay. I thought he had some nice breakups. He was, but he's a good backup. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to play in these games. He's supposed to play in Charlton. He's a decent backup. I was more, as I watched this, I feel like we got to rotate the squad sooner or later. I think that's what's bothered us this game. I think we looked sluggish in the beginning. It just took us a little physical contact and the boys got, awake. They didn't panic. They still stayed, in their structure. But the physical game like this was good for us. I think there's a lot of teaching tools I know Ten Hag is going to use out of this. De Gea's goal is like, he looks so clumsy. It's like those little slow dribblers that come towards him. He just looks like he's on stilts.
I think being
You
a
know.
goalkeeper is so mental. I think when you obviously this is the beginning of the game, but I mean, you can't imagine being literally asleep for 80 minutes, and all of a sudden you got to come alive and make a spectacular save. So who knows where his head was when he came on? If he's in his mind that Everton's not going to give him anything to bother or worry about. I like what the commentators of the when I was watching were talking about how the keepers train, and a lot of times they don't train with the back four, they train alone, and the way they train, there's no depth, and there's no the back four is very close on them when they're training, and perhaps as you said, Case, that he expects him to have intercepted that easily, and it threw him off, but again. He's the saves that guy's made for us. We've all joked about the fact that when your goalkeeper is man of the year, let alone man of the match, and you got a problem. But he saved up and pulled out so many beautiful saves. Again, he's human. You got to forgive him, but he should have had it, obviously. And we'd be
in the end,
different if we lost.
In the end, it didn't decide the match, and
no, it wasn't. I just think we didn't.
I just want to
He
pick up
didn't
on
deserve that goal.
I just want to pick up on one thing you said is Malacia. If he's not able to do a job out there as a backup, then that means Shaw can't, be used as center back. So,
right,
let's recognize him and the job that he's doing. Pretty solid.
Shaw or Malacia?
Malacia. So
Yeah,
I'm saying
it was
if Malacia
decent.
can't do a job out there, then you can't move Shaw into center back, right? So, a more than capable backup.
And to your point, how good has Shaw been at center half? He looks like he's played there his whole entire life.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he doesn't have to run back from the wing. So
No, this is perfect. I don't have to run. This is great. This is great.
He might put some weight back on though. But
No,
the
the sausage rolls are off the menu. We've discussed this.
But if Everton hadn't gotten that disallowed, the offside, which was tight, it might be very different. So we gotta still perform at the best level, because 2-2 with that. If that hadn't been disallowed, I think it would have been a different story. You never know. We could have been going to penalties or a replay.
To Bandito's point about winning the games where we're not necessarily playing well, that goal from Connor Cody took a lot of the air out of our sails, right? That first 10 minutes, we looked like we might blow them away 2-3, 4-0, and all of a sudden we're back level again. But it's encouraging that the players now they've bought in clearly to Ten Hag's system, so they didn't panic, like Face said, and they grinded it out, and we put a lot of crosses in the box. We had a lot of shots at goal. We tested Pickford a lot from set pieces, from open play. So shaky defensively, but we looked good going forward.
Everton is not a shit team. They got some talented guys now. And if they showed up, we're still Manchester United. So they're going to give us their best effort. You got Gray. You got the Arsenal reject with the dreads. The one kid they brought off late, I don't know why they don't play him late. Play him more. Brought on late. What was his name? The little blondie. I thought he was pretty good. I don't know why they.
That was out on the wing.
Lewin, they didn't bring him into the second half, and he was lively. So I was surprised. Saka didn't play.
They got nothing to lose. Their season they're going terrible right now. So might as well just go out, have some fun, see what happens. It's the FA Cup, so you get an additional 40% on your ticket allotment. So there's about 9,000, Everton fans making the short trip over there. I was talking to Kieran today, and he sits right in front of that road where the handicap seating is. And he said they were as loud as you like, to their credit. They're really pushing the Everton on. So, they had nothing to lose. Just go out there and see what happens. So it's nice to see United, put it together and put these games away that they should, and get this 3 points and move on. Get the win and move on.
Well, look, France is a perfect example of of what happens when, as long as you win when you're not playing well. They got to the final of the World Cup, but they did not have a good tournament. They're not one of their games was interesting, was spectacular, but they got all the way. So, you said, Mike, you've got to win obviously every game, and especially the ones you don't play. I think you got to win the ones you don't play well, more importantly than the ones that you do play well, because if you don't play well, you lose. Everyone's going to remember that. Anyway,
In terms of the crowd atmosphere, it was good to hear the United faithful loud and on the broadcast giving it to Frank Lampard.
of course.
Chelsea rep boy, whoa! Chelsea rep boy, whoa!
Yeah, that was a good
He's
one.
not popular in Manchester, is he? He's not, you know what I mean?
Absolutely not. All right, so moving on to Charlton, playing them at home. This is a quarterfinal of the Caribou EFL League Cup. So seems like we're a little split here. Do you play your strongest side like English says, or do we rotate like Face is saying? What do you think, Bandito?
Certain people.
I think you rotate maybe a couple. Obviously, you don't just make 10 wholesale changes. Yeah, I think we're going to see some rotation. Eric Ten Hag likes to, he likes to put his best out there and go for the win, and then maybe bring him off in the second half. So hopefully we can get up a goal at halftime, and then we can start making some wholesale changes. And like everyone says, for Charlton, this is their FA Cup final. This is their Champions League final to come and play Manchester United and try to play spoiler. So they're definitely going to be up for it. Their energy is going to be up. So United's got to match that, and you can't be leggy, So there is a drop off a little bit in our quality, and but Face is saying, and a lot of people are saying, we've got a system in place. So it's not just go out there and pure vibes, whatever you bring to the squad. It's play within the system and fit in within the system. So this will be a test to that.
Well, their manager is a big United fan. I was reading up about their new manager, and he's this was his dream fixture. So he's a big Manchester United fan, Irish fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's he's going to want, obviously it's their cup final, as you say. He's going to want a proper fight. It's his day as much as it is his lads, I think. So, and they're the only non-Premier League team left in the tournament, aren't they? What we got left?
Yeah, I was going to say credit to them. A League One side making it all the way to the quarterfinals of the League Cup.
They've bounced up and down, the last few years.
They were in the Premier League before. I remember the Valley. Yeah, the Valley's an old school ground. Unfortunately, this is going to be at Old Trafford. But and to another point about Charlton, sometimes these lower division sides are a tricky test, even at home. I remember several instances, mostly away, but there's been a few times we've played a League One or League Two side, and it's just not turned up for it on the day. So
the FA Cup's always been known.
Yeah.
The Caribou is different, but the FA Cup's always been known for some team being a giant killer, getting all the way to the semis, even the finals sometimes. That's why it's so beloved. That's why everybody watches it, because every team gets to play in it. Every team starts, and by the end of the tournament, there's always one or two big surprises out there. But Charlton,
what cup is?
It's Caribou.
I'm just saying,
it's
the EFL League Cup.
The cups like this there's always one team that comes out there and bangs out a cup, a giant or two along the way. That's the romance of the cup. But Charlton have played all over London though. They played the Sellers Pass everywhere. But who's left? There's City's left, Southampton's there. Wolves, Newcastle.
Yeah, it's a lot of mid-table, what you would call mid-table Premier League teams. So I think at this time you've got United looking just on odds, on numbers, looking pretty good to get to the finals, and then anything can happen.
Well, you got to crush City because they've got 4 years in a row now, isn't it? They've had I think they've done it 8 times, and it's 4 years in a row. So Newcastle, Leicester, Forest, Wolves, and Southampton City. So
I don't know much about them, but I think they're going to get washed. The only things I look to see is we need to get Varane and Martinez playing together for once before we play the noisy neighbors. As players getting dropped and rotated, I don't see Bruno and Casemiro both out. One of them's got to be there. I wouldn't mind Eriksen taking a little breather, but our gaff, best team possible.
I mean, I think so, but I mean, Ericsson, some of the balls today, right? I mean, whew. And I mean that's shot on goal too. But I mean, but Case and I were talking. I mean, you've got City, Arsenal, Barcelona. I mean, all on the horizon, haven't we? So I think he put that his strongest team against Charlton because he's to get him used to play together, galvanized.
Do you play Martial?
No, I wouldn't. I'd keep him on the bench.
Here's a bigger question. This is a side we were more likely to see in the Papa John's Trophy than we are the League Cup. So do you play Iqbal? Do you start Garnacho? Do you bring in some of these younger lads and give them a go that we haven't, seen as many minutes?
He hasn't done it yet.
I don't think so. I think what managers like to do is they like to put those players in when the stakes are not so high, will you say? Or, in the position where they don't have to be the star. They can just play alongside someone like Casemiro, and they don't have to be the star and perform. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure that he does that.
I think when
you don't feel like there's a risk though around the corner. Like I mean, I know this cup is special, but look what's coming up.
Right, but I think when you're winning, it's easier for him to start bringing the youth through that I'm a big supporter of. But when you're winning, I mean, let's say just outside of what cup or tournament it is right now, every single squad he puts out, every game he plays, that microscope is on him. Oh, he made a mistake. Oh, he didn't do that right. He didn't make a mistake because of obviously the task of rebuilding United. So I think every game is so important for that win, no matter what it is. He's putting out the strongest team, strongest squad. Getting them used to playing with one another, happy to play with one another together, used to winning, used to scoring. That's why you got to keep Rashi in because get him another one. Keep that stick. We all know no matter what you do for a living, if you're on a roll, you're on a roll. If you're on a downward slope, you're on a downward slope. So I think if he keeps that going, if we got a good result, we're up 2 or 3. Yeah, bring on the younguns and make them part of the squad. Absolutely, as I'm a big believer in. But I think that's why he's going to put out the strongest team, and I think he has to. Because that's going to galvanize the fans. The only thing is, I'm terrified that the more we win, the less the Glazers are going to sell.
Well, that's done deal. Don't worry about it.
I disagree on playing the strongest team. For me, I feel like now that we're headed into the run-in where we've got, our next 2 games in the league are City and Arsenal, the 2 teams above us in the table, sans Newcastle. I'm worried about an injury risk when you're playing a team like Charlton that's not going to have a lot of quality, not going to have a lot of technical ability. They're probably going to play a low block, and they're probably going to play physical because that's what the lower leagues demand. The Championship, League One, League Two, that's the style of play. And I feel like some of our younger guys like Garnacho, Iqbal would be playing at that level anyway if they were, out on loan or better, being the Championship or, whatever. And so to me, this is their chance to show, you're on the fringes of the squad. Here's your chance to prove how you get into the squad. There's some of these guys are not going to get a lot of chances to prove that. This is one of the few chances now that we've got a few extra, games that maybe you weren't anticipating because you're going to have to play Lindelof. You're going to have to play Maguire. Some of those guys are going to have to, get minutes. And this seems like a perfect game to have Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, back line. There's a lot less risk playing them against a team like Charlton. And then if you've got Casemiro in the team next to Iqbal, there's your bit of experience in the middle of the park. And then, maybe you go, you can't play Donny now, but I guess maybe you play, Alonga, you start Garnacho, and maybe you give Charlie Savage a chance back there and you play Savage, Iqbal, Martial. Maybe that's the team. That's how I see it.
That's a fair shout.
You go out against City, Arsenal, Newcastle, chances of getting injured just as high. You got teams that close right now. The 3 of us, second, third, and fourth. You look like you're going to go down to 5th, and you make that professional foul. I think you're just as likely to get injured. I think the guys that get brought in, if somebody gets injured, I think we've got to win. I think at the end of the day, God, God forbid we win nothing else. If you've got the Carabao Cup, as a supporter, you're like, well, at least you've got some silverware. I think you start with something. It's better than nothing. I mean, I've made a prediction. That's why I stand by. But I think it's just winning is winning right now, and that's going to build the confidence of the fans and the players. And I think he puts his strongest squad out for that. I was surprised he went with today. I'm surprised he didn't put Wan-Bissaka on. But hey, that's why I'm not the manager. But I think again, I think strongest squad, and we'll see. Again, as we said before, as Faith said tonight, when Charlton come out, they're coming out to play. They're not coming out for this is the game of their life, and they're going to come out and play. And because if they win, they'll be drinking out on that for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, there is this idea that Ten Hag, it would be a success to win a trophy in his first year. Even if it is League Cup, and we're close, so let's go for it. That's kind of the thought. Let's go and lift something this year, and then build from there. So yeah, English is right. There is that thought. People around the club like, yeah, this is a chance to do something we haven't done for a number of years.
Right. I mean, you think about it, we could still walk up, we could still bring home the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and Europa in his first year. That'd be fantastic. The only downfall there is everyone would be looking at him going, okay, what are you gonna do next?
I just worry about the fixture
he's
list.
Gonna do something next. Give him some more players. He's gonna do something next. I trust Ten Hag will do something next.
My only concern is just the fixture list, because we've still got Barcelona. That's a two-legged tie. That's an extra round in the Europa League that we didn't count on. You beat Charlton. That's now you're in the semifinal. The semifinal is 2 legs in the League Cup, so that's 2 more matches onto the schedule. It's a lot of games that you're playing, and then we're right after the World Cup, and guys are getting back into their stride. I feel like at some point you got to rotate. You can't do it against City, and you can't do it agast Arsenal.
I agree.
That's why it seems like a tactical move is what it seems like.
When it seems to me, Face would probably attest better because his playing days of sport were longer than mine were. But when you're an athlete, when you're winning and you're happy and you're on top, the more they throw at you, the more you take. It's like, I mean, obviously you can't go forever, but and you're going to pick up a little niggle here and niggle there. But when you're winning and you're confident, you want to keep going, right? I mean, be it boxing, be it football, because you're hungry. You're winning, and it's just another challenge to say we're going to win. Your confidence level's high. When you're getting your ass handed to you every week, you don't want, oh God, another game. I mean, is that how you felt, Case, when you was out there?
Oh yeah, we didn't want to stop playing. I was upset when coach was like, we're gonna pull you out early. Now fuck that. I'm out here partying. Let's have a good time.
Right.
I want stats. I want leave me the fuck in. These dudes are sorry. I have to be like, hey, sorry, I'm trying to party. Let's party.
Yeah. I agree, Sinatra. You obviously there's that worry, but there's that worry about every game. So I don't think you can think, I better plan for this, because I'm sure he is in his mind. But to me, it's like if you're rolling and you're strong, look again.
But I still got pulled out the game early too. Coach said, "Shut your ass up and get the ass back there."
That's because you were partying.
Sorry,
I think that's a little bit why he brought McTominay and Harry on a little bit, though. I think he intends to play them.
What you gonna say, Bandito? You just like you about to say something.
No, I'm thinking about rotation and that. And
the only things I want to see for this game.
Modern football, they're looking at matrix.
Oh yeah, it's too much of analytics.
How many hours and how many calories has this person?
Oh, that shit is crazy.
Spent
all right, we're less than a minute, so wrap it up. Whoever wants to wrap it up for me.
I was gonna say, I think we got to see Martinez and Varane play together before City. That's it.
Good shot, yeah.
That's a good shout.
I agree.
So
all right,
big
boys.
It's up to the Reds to do it. Keep it rolling. Keep the fun going.
Pound the like.
Yeah, like and subscribe. You know what it is. We repping Moo Mia. We repping Terrace Cult USA. We're the 1878 Casuals. You know how we do it. We're going to see you guys again to get our thoughts on Charlton and preview the Birdies.